There's one thing about profitable betting that is more annoying than every other detail combined, and that is limitations. If you've tried value betting for a longer period of time, you've very likely experienced some kinds of limitation. So, what is a limitation? Well, basically, it means that a bookmaker limits the amount of stake that you can bet on a given game or on a given market. So, let's say we were able to bet as much as we would want. Now we've been putting in, maybe it's some thousands of bets, maybe it's some hundreds of bets. It's really hard to say, and there doesn't seem to be a certain rhythm, like one fits all threshold that would limit players. Like some players are able to bet thousands and thousands of bets until they face a limitation, and some players can do it for some hundreds of bets. But we always start usually with unlimited accounts, so we can bet as much as we want basically. And then at a point it might be we are only able to bet 30 euros to a game, or 20 euros, or 10 euros, or something like that. Now, the good news are that there's so many bookmakers available that it takes a very long time until we've exhausted all the bookmakers that we can use. And usually this means we've profited thousands and thousands and thousands before that. And still, while this is true, we still want to optimize from the beginning. We want to optimize for the account lifespan, so that our accounts are alive as long as possible. So first, let's talk about why do bookmakers limit us, and then let's talk how can we optimize for staying under the radar as long as possible. Okay, so there's one single explanation that explains why bookmakers ban certain individuals. There's one explanation and there's no other way to explain this. The only single reason why bookmakers ban certain players is because those players have a plus EV strategy. EV stands for expected value. There's no other possible explanation why a casino, a sportsbook, would decline customers. The only reason they want to decline customers is because those customers are profitable, meaning that for the house they're unprofitable. The players are profitable, for the house unprofitable. So what does the house do? It does not allow those players to continue, or it sets limits on those players. The only explanation. So what this means is that limitations are a sign of success. Limitations are undisputable proof that value betting works. Okay, so how to avoid limitations? Well, one thing is that the selection and timing of our bets matters. If there's really high value for a really low tier league, so let's say we have an 8% value bet for Slovakian third division hockey game, this raises flags. We should not be betting on this game. So you can set your value percentage maximum on RebelBetting to 5%, for example, if you want to optimize for the long term. And I do favor this strategy. We really want to be here for as long as possible to extract the max value. So timing really matters. We want to act like we are losing players. We want to wear a disguise of a losing player, though we are a winning player, because we have a winning system, which is Rebel Betting. So don't bet on those low tier leagues. There's actually this setting on Rebel Betting, hide low tier leagues. So just check that. We don't want to take those low league bets. They raise flags pretty soon, especially when they're high value. What we want to do, we want to stay on the bigger leagues, even though this means we are getting slightly less bets. This is still more profitable in the long term. We will make more money with this strategy. If it is possible, stick to the bigger leagues. The bigger, the better. The more volume there is on a game, the better. And what also raises flags is when there's a huge momentary pricing mistake, like 7% on a match that lasts only for some minutes. If we are super fast and we lock in a bet there, it seems suspicious usually. Everything you do, try to think, what would a punter do? What would a losing player do? The other really important angle is keep using your limited accounts, and you can leverage clones on this. So a betting clone is a site that has a different name but has the same odds. For example, Unibet and Mr. Green are clones. They have different names, but they have exactly the same markets. They have the exactly same odds. So let's say you've been limited on both of those. So let's say you only can bet 7 euros on a market. Well, Unibet has multiple clones. I think Unibet has 5 clones in total. You can check these, which works on your country, from betclone.com. So let's say you can only bet 7 euros on a market on Unibet. And you can only bet 7 euros also in all of the clones of Unibet. Well, if you make that 7 euro bet on Unibet and all of those clones, suddenly, instead of 7 euros, you can bet 35 euros, because 7 times 5 is 35. And we can log to RebelBetting only the one bet for 35 euro stake. Now it's really crucial, this is really crucial. When we did the betting log with Elias, with my friend, you can find this from RebelBetting channel, we did this a lot. This really does work. So just because you get limited doesn't mean you can't keep using the account. Usually the limitations are soft, they're not hard limitations. Hard limitations would mean basically you can't bet anything at all, it's 0 euros. Well, usually it's not like that. Usually you can still keep using your limited account. So this is the second most important tip that I would say. Keep using them, keep leveraging the betting clones. We can still, despite of being limited, make a really decent income. You could also do accumulator bets. So accumulator is when you add multiple markets to the same bet. So usually we make a single value bet. It's a single market. It's over 3.5 goals. It's under 3.5 goals. One bet. When we use accumulators, we are combining multiple bets. So the variance goes up by a lot. But if we have 2 plus EV bets on the same accumulator, this is much more likely to go unnoticed. Now it's harder to track these things because then in RebelBetting things get more tough because we are still optimized for one bet. So one value bet, you track that down, we have a bet tracker for that, you can track your results. But once in every blue moon, maybe it's every 10th bet, you could do an accumulator bet with 2 plus EV markets on the same bet. So every 10th one could be this, and maybe you use half stake on this. Maybe you use a quarter stake. Anyway, it's still plus EV, but we are throwing some smoke on the bookmaker. We could also be tossing in some minus EV bets. We could throw in some casino bets, some blackjacks, whatever. We want to appear as a losing player as long as possible. Whatever we can do to accomplish that, we should do. And one more thing, there is a data to show that account warming is a real thing. What this means is once we open an account, we should take things slowly. So not rush in with big bets to big margins, slowly build our ways up. What this might even mean is we open the account, we make 10 bets, and then we forget the account for a week. We make another 10 bets, we forget it for a week. The first few weeks, it seems, are really crucial when it comes to flagging players as positive or negative when it comes to returns for the house. So the first weeks are crucial. And one more thing, if you can use bet brokers, if you can use sharp bookmakers, for example, for sure betting, well, sharp bookmakers won't limit you, so that's the beauty of it. So if you can find these sure bet opportunities where you can take advantage of a sharp bookmaker, and maybe in your country you have a country-led bookmaker like Veikkaus in Finland or Svenska Spel in Sweden, if you can find, for example, these arbitrage bets between Svenska Spel and Pinnacle, that could be so hugely profitable. You're not going to get limited. So there's also a real possibility. So anyway, here are some of the most crucial things you should consider when you want to reduce the amount of limitations you're getting from bookmakers. Anyway, it's an honor to do this with you. We are making millions and millions of euros of profits each year with all Rebel Bettors combined. So keep doing what you're doing. It's clearly working. You can contact us. You can leave us a comment, send us an email, start a new thread on the community, join our Discord. Anything goes. Thank you so much. My name is Mikael. I'll see you in the next video.